You had some practice time out earlier this morning. Your initial thoughts on the car and also the track here at Detroit?
Thank you, and yeah, thank you. It's a big pleasure to be here in IndyCar with this family. I've been following you guys from a very long time. You know, I'm from Mexico, so we are close by. Some Mexican races as well that you had. So it represents something very special. We had some Mexican drivers going through here, so yeah, it's a big honor to represent Mexico now in IndyCar. And regarding the track, is probably one of the trickiest tracks in the calendar. So it's been quite enjoyable to get there in the IndyCar for the first time, getting to know the car. Obviously, my first goal right now is to feel comfortable, to learn. I have a great team behind me, supporting me, giving me all the available information for me to get up to speed as quick as possible, right? Because we know that, you know, coming from a Formula One experience, from Formula E, it takes a bit of time to get used to a different car, especially coming into a weekend where there is quite a few practice and track time.
You mentioned being from Mexico, and obviously there are no other drivers from Mexico racing full-time in the series. What does it mean to you to be representing your country here in the Verizon IndyCar Series, as it has a deep history of Mexican drivers in it?
Yes, it has a deep history. I mean, from Adrián Fernández to Michel Jourdain to Mario Dominguez, many drivers that have been here. I mean, I'm particularly very good friends with Adrián. He's a really nice guy, and throughout my career he's been always supporting me. Specifically as well, Sébastien Bourdais, I was following from my karting days. He was, you know, at those times he was basically dominating Champ Car at that time, yeah, it's very special to come here to be in his seat, and obviously he's a really good reference. He's a fantastic driver. I spoke to him this morning, and he gave me a few tips here and there of how to approach the weekend, and yeah, I'm working very well with his engineers, which I'm sure is a great team. That gives me a lot of confidence and enjoyment as well, because to come here with a good team, you start already on a good side.
We know that you currently have other racing commitments in the future, but about your opportunity specifically for Detroit, as has been announced at this point, what has the adjustment period been like for you? Just walking in, I'm sure you just arrived maybe yesterday to the track and adjusting to new teams, new teammates, new engineers.
Yes, I mean, it was everything came very quickly, but I really, you know, from the first time I received the call from Dale, I said I didn't think it twice. You know, I really wanted to take this chance, and I feel very grateful with it to have this opportunity. So far I'm enjoying it a lot, and yeah, I think it's important to think on Detroit right now. Hopefully I can do the rest of the season. This is what I want. So yeah, hopefully we can get things organized so that everything goes forward.
Wonderful. We'll open up for questions, starting with Bruce, and we do have a wireless microphone.
After working with Haas F1 and all the engineering staff that they had last year and your other experiences with F1, now you're going to Dale Coyne Racing, which is a bit of a smaller operation. What's that like? Is this more of a racer's mentality more so than a technical mentality?
Yes, it's pure racing. It's really special to come here. You have the car with no power steering. You have the car pretty much open to adjust anything you want. So the feedback and the communication with the engineers becomes even more important. In Formula One, is a lot about fine-tuning during the weekend. Obviously, you can develop a lot in the medium to long term, but in a difference to an IndyCar, you have basically everything open. I mean, from the gears, from downforce levels, mechanical changes, differential changes, so many tools ride heights, caster, so many tools that you can work with, which is pretty interesting, and at the same time is a lot more information to cope with. But it's really good. I mean, it makes everything much more simple to have not a really big team. On the other hand, to have some technical support is important. So I think at the moment, Dale Coyne is a great place to start, and is a really good team, and I'm grateful to be there with them.
Mike, and then Lewis and Tony.
Esteban, welcome to Detroit. Have you had a chance yet to talk to any fans? Formula One drivers don't seem to be able to mix with the with the fans around the track. Here it's a lot more open and a lot more fan friendly. Have you had a chance yet to say hello?
Yes, I had the chance, and I love it. I love to to share with the fans, because most of those fans, they are so passionate about racing that sometimes you learn from them, from history. And it's nice to speak with them, to understand what is their perspective. You get something that in Formula One or in other places I've been. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Formula One is an amazing category. My days there, I really enjoyed it. Is very different. It's a different characteristic, but the openness that IndyCar has with the fans makes it quite special.
Lewis?
Sorry about that. Speaking of the difference in cars, you don't have to worry about KERS or DRS. In what ways do you feel like more in control as a driver? And I know you've only had 45 minutes, but how do you feel as a driver now? It's more on you.
Yes, it's true, and that makes it even more interesting because it's more natural. The cars are pretty much equal between the teams, and that gives you the opportunity to show, or let's say to do more as a driver and to influence more on that side. Also the level of communication with the engineers to fine-tune the car, suiting the driver, the driving style. Also, I mean, yeah, in general I'm very happy, and it's the fact that you have no power steering. It makes it also very different. You have so much feedback from the car. The steering wheel is much harder, but it's much better because you get the feedback that you have from the tires, from the car, from the movements, the vibrations, and this helps you a lot to understand the car better. Yeah, not many buttons to think about in the steering wheel.
Tony?
Esteban, you've raced a number of your current contemporaries, Alexander Rossi, Joseph Newgarden, in past series and beat them. Have you talked to them much, or has there been any other drivers that have reached out to you and said, welcome, and what's kind of been their welcoming of you to the series?
Yes, I've spoken to a few of them, not everybody, because I came very quickly. We just arrived here 2 days ago. But yes, I mean, it seems that it's very nice to come back to America from 2007 when I was racing Formula BMW here. I know very well tracks like Road America, which is one of my favorite tracks in the world, and I'm very keen to hopefully have the chance to race there again with an IndyCar in the following races. But yeah, regarding the the drivers I competed with, is gonna come natural. I mean, obviously being here, spending more time here, I will be able to speak with them. It's been a long time, so many years in between, so I'm sure we can share a lot of experiences.
Esteban, the last 2 years, the Indy 500 has been won by drivers with considerable Formula One experience. Next May, where would you rather be, Monaco or Indianapolis?
That's a really good question. No. I would love to try Indy 500. I watched the race, and it's a real racing race. It's pure driving, pure racing. it requires so many factors around. I mean, I think what Fernando experienced, I know Fernando very well, so I could see his smile on the smile on his face all the time. So I could realize that it's something I have to try. Yeah.
Any other questions, Mary?
This is really trial by fire because, as I understand it, the first time you were really in the car was this morning for 45 minutes. And as I watched Elio, the in-car camera, and watched all the movement of his steering wheel just from the bumps, and he's supposed to have Penske shocks, which are supposed to be superior, it seemed like a really rough go. So how do you adapt to that?
Well, first of all is the approach. My approach this weekend is to learn. I'm here, obviously, considering that I have not driven the car yet. I mean, before this weekend. Now that I drove in practice one, I feel much better than what I expected. I mean, obviously, I was, a little bit intrigued about what was going to be the feeling. But actually, I'm enjoying it a lot, and I think that's the most important. So I'll take it step by step, very progressively. No mistakes, just enjoying the experience, and the speed will come naturally. It may take a few races, may take few sessions, I don't know, but as long as it comes natural and I'm enjoying it, I'm sure the speed will be there.
Yes.
Ben Hink from the Apex. You've raced on street circuits before, obviously. But this street circuit here is quite different from a lot of those in that it's really, really bumpy. So aside from getting used to the car, how much of a shock is our version of a street circuit here to you?
Well, it's a bit less bumpier than from the video footage I had from the previous years. So I was pleased to get on track and to say, okay, it's not as bad as I saw on the videos. But definitely is something new for me. I mean, to have this amount of bumps, the changes of the surface. You have concrete, you have asphalt, you have, everything is changing, so the tires are reacting differently. So obviously, it's another factor on top of learning the car is also to learn these differences between the surface. So, yeah, I mean, it's all about being comfortable, and at the moment, thankfully, I'm quite comfortable with the car. I'm confident, so it will come step by step.
And we'll take a question from Lewis, and then we'll end with Mary.
Slightly off topic. I think you're from Monterey.
Yes, that's correct.
So a couple of people in the room have been to the IndyCar race in Monterey.
Did you like it?
Yes. So how is the track? Any chance we go back to Monterey?
Why not? It would be fantastic. I mean, it's my hometown. I would love to have a race there. So for sure, would be something to have. It would be very special to go back there. Yeah. And I'm sure it can be possible in the future.
We'll take our last question from Mary.
Esteban, being that you're in the car now with Dale Coyne Racing, I don't know what has been discussed, but there would be a good chance that you might do an oval race. And what are your thoughts on that? Have you ever had any experience racing on an oval?
No, I never had. And hopefully, if I have the chance, that I can at least do a test day before that. So that will be important for me to get a feeling. It's completely new to me, but I'm very keen to learn and to go there and try out. I mean, I'm a racer. I like challenges, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Esteban, thank you very much. Welcome to the series, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time.